comment, raise your hand, keep them up for a second.
How's everybody today? You know, today was our first real practice in pads, and I've been very pleased with the progress that we made through the first 2 days in terms of, you know, a lot of learning going on, a lot of new players getting a lot of opportunity and getting a lot of repetitions. First day in pads, I think everybody goes out there with a lot of energy, and sometimes you just go a little bit flat. So when it comes to the mental part of it, and I think the attention to detail, the discipline, paying attention to detail even when you have pads on, rather than just being in shorts and helmets, when you're focused more on the mental part of it. So now what we need to do is be able to play physical, give the effort that we need to give, but also be able to have the discipline, you know, to execute, and don't go out there and just endure the practice, but actually every opportunity and every rep that we can do something that's going to help us get better as a team, every individual player out there, take advantage of it. And I think that's something that we got to do a little bit better job of in terms of us as a coaching staff, getting the players to do it, as well as the players demanding a little bit more of themselves and of each other. You know, I talk about player-to-player accountability all the time, and you know, that's something that we want to continue to try to, you know, emphasize with our players. You know, we'll practice on Thursday and have our meetings on Friday like we usually do, and then, you know, the players will be off for Easter weekend, and we'll get back going at it again next week. You know, Tua has made a very nice recovery from his hand. You know, he did have a break. Dr. Kane and our medical staff do a fantastic job here. I tell you what, we probably have the best medical staff and the best medical group of people. Dr. Andrews, Dr. Kane, their whole group of people over there has done a phenomenal job with so many players here. And I guess it's a little bit like having insurance, you know. It doesn't matter what kind of insurance you have until you have to make a claim. But these guys are fabulous, and when we get guys hurt, man, they do a great job with them. I mean, Tua was actually able to do stuff in practice today, actually able to hand the ball off, could grip the ball, could throw the ball a little bit. So just amazing technology that we have now, and the expertise that our people have in terms of doing a great job with our players. So we're really excited that you know, Tua's making a good recovery. He's got a really good positive attitude about it, and we feel good about, you know, where he's heading. Vandarius Cowan has not been at practice the last 2 days. And look, I'm not going to be specific here, but we have rules about academics here. You know, we check guys in terms of what they're supposed to do, and we define the standard of expectation that we have for, you know, class attendance, tutors, study table. And when guys do not do this to the standard that we've created for all the players here, they can't practice or play until they get it right. And that's basically what we're trying to do from an academic standpoint, which is what all the players come here to do. And we want to create the right habits for them so that they can get an education and develop a career off the field. So if a player's not doing that, and we have to take something away from him that's going to change his behavior, then that's one of the ways that we do it. So he is making good progress, and hopefully he'll be back to practice soon.
Okay, Coach, we'll start with Cecil in the back.
Coach, I have two, and the first one's a little off topic, but since we talked to you last week, Mr. Huizenga passed away, and I was just curious as to your thoughts about him and his impact on your career.
Well, you know, Wayne Huizenga will be and will always be, when you sit down somewhere on the side of the hill and think about all the people who had the greatest impact on you in terms of how they affected you, how much respect you had for them, how much compassion they had for other people, their accomplishments, the class that they made, all the accomplishments that they made, and how they did it. There is nobody that I know other than my parents that had a greater impact on me in terms of someone that I would like to emulate and be like. And I'm talking mostly about how we treated other people, the kind of character that he had, the kind of intelligence, the businessman that he was. I mean, I can't say enough things about Wayne Huizenga, and what a fantastic, successful, but classy man. I mean, the classiest man that you're ever going to meet. And you know, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and he has a great family. And anybody that starts from basically scratch, because he started with very little and built 3 Fortune 500 companies, that kind of tells you what he's all about. But the way he did it, and the class that he had, and the way he treated other people, and the compassion that he had for other people was just phenomenal. And nobody that I know has treated my family better than he did, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate him.
Thank you, Coach. And also, back to on the field, as far as to his spring prognosis, is he just the same as other quarterbacks in terms of non-contact, or are there some other limitations?
No, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, we don't want to hit any of the quarterbacks. We want to keep the defensive players away from the quarterbacks. We don't want to injure the quarterbacks. We want to get them as many reps as they can. And, you know, I don't think you can single one guy out and say you can do this to one guy and you can't do it to the other. So we try to treat them all the same. I mean, obviously he's got a bad hand, and we don't want anybody to be hit on his hand. But, you know, hopefully in a very short period of time he'll be able to get back in there, and soreness will go away, swelling's down, he's getting his strength back, he's getting his grip back. So I don't think we have to make any special provisions for him in terms of how he practices and what he does relative to his pain tolerance.
Back right with Charlie.
How much have you seen Deontay Thompson progress, and how much of those playoff games last season kind of helped him in taking and preparing to take a bigger role this season?
Well, I think that, you know, he played almost 2 full games of very big games and did a really, really good job. I think it helped his confidence a lot. I think he's a lot more confident in what he's supposed to do. He has a better understanding. Certainly has a lot of confidence that he can do it, because he did play very well for us in those 2 games. So, you know, we're excited about that. We don't have a lot of experience in the secondary right now, but I think those games that he played certainly gave him a level of confidence and experience that'll be very helpful to even helping the other guys play better.
Here in the middle with Michael.
Just wanted your view on scheduling home and home series with non-conference teams, and has that evolved over the time being here?
No, I think the philosophy has always been that, you know, we want to add at least one quality opponent to our schedule. And other than the Penn State home and home since I've been here, we've never been able to get that worked out like we want to. Our administration is working really hard on it. So consequently, we've played in a lot of neutral site games to get a good opponent. And I know you guys have heard about some of the things that we're working on, but when we have something to report on that, we'll be glad to tell you about it. But I don't really have anything to report on it right now.
Up front here with Mark.
What have you seen from Savion Smith since he's been here, and what about him made you want to recruit him here?
Well, we recruited him in high school, and we thought he was a really good player, and you know, he's done a nice job so far this spring. He's a bright guy. He understands football. He is picking the stuff up pretty well. Fundamentally, we're working on some of his techniques that is a little different than maybe what he's played in the past, but I'm pleased with the progress that he's made so far. But we certainly want to continue to work with him, because there's a lot of things that we can improve, that he can improve on, and we can help him improve. And that's going to be the focus for the rest of the spring.
Got time for a couple more. We'll start with Walsh.
Just to kind of stay on the secondary, when you have the kind of turnover that you have this year, does your approach at all change in the spring and when you go into the fall?
I don't know what you mean by approach. You know, we always coach players whole part whole. You know, you kind of throw a bucket of whatever you want to call it up against the wall and see what sticks, and then fill the bucket up again and throw it up against it again, and eventually it all sticks. But, you know, to say because we don't have much experience, we're going to take things slow, not expose the players to the things they need to get exposed to, then next fall you're behind. You know, I think I'd rather do it the way we do it and expose them to the stuff and then decide if they don't have it, they can't get it, they're not ready to do it, don't do it, than not try to do it. So, but I've been pretty pleased with, we just don't have the numbers of guys that we need. You know, I think we only have 7 guys on scholarship and we're working 2 offensive guys, some on defense, to try to have enough numbers. So maybe there's 8, I don't know, but you know, we certainly will welcome the new guys that we have coming in the fall because those guys are going to have a role in terms of the depth that they add to our team. And you know, I kind of enjoy the challenge of working with, you know, players like this who don't have experience, that are eager and anxious to learn and are excited about trying to do things the right way.
Last one up front with Tony.
What have you seen from Joseph Bulovas, and do you plan on taking a similar 2-kicker approach, or have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I think about it a lot, actually. But we only had kicking 1 day so far in the 4 days that we practiced, and it was very windy when we did it, but I was encouraged by the improvement that we made. Also, we're going to have new holders, so that's another issue when it comes to field goals. But you know, we will evaluate all the kickers that we have in the program, and we do have some coming in to the program as well. And we're going to do like we do at every other position and play the player who we think gives us the best chance to be successful at that position. And it'll be no different when it comes to kicking, whether it's kicking field goals or kicking off, or if we have to do short field goal, long field goal, or whatever. We certainly have a lot of confidence in Joseph, and we think that he has a lot of talent. We're just working on a consistency level to get him to where he wants to be and where we'd like for him to be.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. And I guess I won't talk to you, and I guess that, you know, Easter is kind of a holiday that a lot of people sort of get together from a family standpoint. So, you know, I know I'm looking forward to seeing my grandbaby and have a little Easter egg hunt. But I get to hide the eggs, and then I get to show her where they're at.